In one of the last videos, I was talking about how I had recently gotten a subscription to the BandLab just to mess with it and test it out. I'm still learning it. It's not sponsored. I'm just trying to figure out how it works. I'm so used to using FL Studio and other DAWs, like trying to figure out how to work with the DAW online is a new experience. But I started working with the sample packs that you can use, that you can download if you have a subscription to BandLab. And one of them I found had some pretty interesting electric guitars, just kind of like an atmospheric kind of sound to it. So they had the sample packs, which I just talked to you about. And one of the things that I started doing was just building out a basic arrangement with those samples. And like I said, I'd found this one that had some electric guitar parts. And so I came in and just kind of built out like a section for a chorus and a section for a verse. Had some different, those are all the samples from the pack. And then I came in and just added other parts to that. So I added in a bass line, added in some electric guitar, some acoustic guitar, which I recorded myself. And there are some horns in there as well. And so all that kind of put together in the drums, obviously up here. So that section now sounds like this. Let me make sure I mute out the vocals, because I want to kind of show you some of the stuff that I did there. So here's the chorus right now as it stands. All right, so you get the idea. So I have a basic arrangement for the chorus. And one of the things that I struggled a lot with was coming up with words that work in these areas. So one of the things that I've started doing that has really helped me out a lot is to do basically what I'm calling like a scratch track for the melody, for a vocal melody. And so what that means is I'll sit there and listen to that track. So I'm listening through this part. And I'm thinking in my head, like, what melody sounds okay with that? And I'm not trying to come up with words. I'm just trying to come up with something that I think fits with this arrangement or fits with that. And so I usually record a couple passes of that. And you can see these passes down here that are muted out. And these are just the tracks that I put together where I was kind of coming up with these melody ideas. So this is the melody idea that I came up with that goes along with that chorus. You can see it's nothing fancy here. It doesn't sound good, like it's not in tune or anything along those lines. This is just raw capturing the idea. So put that together with the track that I have so far as that chorus chunk, and what you have is this. So really that was like the one word that I had that I knew that I wanted to use in this song was just stay. That was the concept. That was the idea that was sticking in my head, regardless of the different sections that I made for the song. That word was always kind of there. And so then what I did is I just tried to create like a movie scene for this song, like thinking about what kind of a scene would this be if this were part of a movie. And so I ended up grabbing like a notepad on the master track and just started kind of sketching down some visual ideas from like a scene perspective. Like I had this image of like a girl driving away in a car, like traveling away, some sort of sense of freedom, but there was still some like sadness to it. And then I just started creating what I called like the basic story for this, which was like this guy that really likes this girl, but she's ready to leave. He realizes that he wants her in his life forever, and he's feeling scared if she feels the same way. So he's fighting through his insecurities to like ask her to stay. And that feels like a movie scene. Like that feels like a thing that you would see in all kinds of different movies. It could fit anywhere. And then I just started writing to that concept. And so now I have the melody for it and I have the idea in terms of the scene. So it just makes writing the actual song a whole lot easier because now I have like the cadence of what I'm saying in terms of what syllables are there for the song. And then I can just start writing around that. And so I ended up coming up with a set of words to it. Now, the problem that I ran into, which I still have to work on now, like I'm still in process with this song, is I put this song together in a certain key, but it's actually way too high for my range. So I'm going to have to go back and drop it down, and I'll talk through some of the things that I'm doing for that. But I'll give you a sense of the rough idea for the vocals that I put together for this track here. So again, these are outside of my range, so this is up at the upper end of what I can do vocally, but it'll give you a sense of where these words kind of ended up at.
What if I told you that you were the one? Would you hold it against me and just walk away? I'm putting it out there, it's my heart on the line. I love you madly and I want you to stay.
So it just made my job a heck of a lot easier because now I had this guide track, this vocal guide track for writing those words to. So that ended up becoming that.
What if I told you that you were the one?
And each of those sections, I just had to worry about trying to come up with a set of words or a phrase that would match that idea or match that case. And it didn't match perfectly all the way through, but it just made my job easier because I had a scene that I was writing now. I had the basic vocal melody and cadence of how I was going to sing it. And so it was just kind of like putting together puzzle pieces for that last part. And so now I just have to go back and rework a lot of these tracks to work for a key that will work for my range vocally. But I just wanted to share that with you because it was something that I've been trying here recently that actually helps me write a little bit quicker. So I'm creating that story and I'm also working with the melody ideas so that I have a frame that I'm kind of working in as I'm putting together a song.